again. So I have another little craft activity you might like to try. We're going to have a go at making our own butterflies. So I've got one here that I've coloured in, and here's another one that I did, and that was with coloured paper, with pattern paper. Okay, so that's what we're going to have a go at making. So what will you need? So you will need a piece of paper. Now I've got a plain piece of paper because I'm going to decorate mine. You can use patterned paper, you could use wrapping paper, newspaper, magazines, anything that you've got lying around, wallpaper, any of that will do, and whatever size that you have will depend on how big your butterfly is. So this size here comes from a piece of A4 paper, and let's have a go, shall we? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper in half. Okay, crease down the middle there. So whatever size paper you've got, you need to fold it in half. I've done mine lengthwise to make my butterfly nice and big. Okay, and from there we need to draw our butterfly wing shape. Now for me, I like to draw like well, if it's this way up it'll be a W, but I like to draw that sort of round huge shape on a wing. So we need to make sure that the top wing is going to end up bigger than the bottom wing. So I like to come roughly about 1/3 of the way long. So as long as the bit here is smaller than the bit at the top there, but roughly 1/3 long for adults if they want to mark out for little ones. Okay, and then we're going to bring our U shape. We're going to start it about 1/3 of the way down from the fold. So you've got to remember, when you're drawing your wing shape, make sure the fold is always to the middle and the U's on the go on the outer edge, which opens up. Okay, so if I draw it, you'll understand it a little bit more when I draw it. So about, or a bit higher I think, so about there. We're just going to go round, and we'll just do a U shape there, so hopefully you can see that nicely there. So you can see we've got a bit of a U shape, but it doesn't go all the way to the top. Okay, and then we're going to start from where we finished, and we're going to do another U shape. This one's going to be quite wide because we're going to fill up the rest of the paper. I'm hoping you can see that. So we've got the U shape for the smaller part of the wing, bottom part, and then a U shape filling up the rest of the paper for the big part of the wing. Okay, so now we need to cut the shape out. So if you cut it when it's folded, when you open it up, you get both your wings. You may have already done something similar before, so you might know what I mean, but you'll see once I've cut it out, when we open it up, you'll see your wings. So little people, this is really good practice for your scissor control and for coordination, but just take it nice and slowly. Make sure your fingers are well out the way of the scissors. Okay, don't throw that away yet because you'll need a bit of that. And just take it nice and steady, or get a grown-up to help you if you need to, but have a go first, I say. So there we go, so there's our shape opened up. It looks a bit funny shape at the moment, but it will all come together when it's folded. So there's our wing shape. So as you can see, so the top section is much bigger than the bottom section. Okay, and that's all we need to look for. It doesn't matter if this is more round, if it's more flat, as long as you've got that sort of larger section for the top wing and a smaller section for the bottom wing. Okay, now as my piece of paper is a plain piece of paper, I'm going to decorate it, and I've just got some felt tips to colour in mine, but you could use all sorts of things. You could, you've got some ink printing things at home, you could use that. Some nice little stamps. You could use paint. If you're using paint though, you need to make sure it's properly dry before you start folding it. you'll be in a bit of a mess. And also you could just paint on one side and then fold over and press it down, and that prints, and that's really good way to do it as well. But for today I'm just going to use some felt tips, so I'll just start with some very simple shapes. This is a great way to explore shapes and patterns and colours, and you can experiment with all different things. So I'm just drawing like a teardroppy shape, or my ice cream cone shape I like to call it. But you can continue your patterns all the way around, cover your whole piece of paper. And if I show you one that I've already done, so here we go. So here's one that I've already done. You can see I've started to fold it as well. But I filled the page there. And remember to put your lid back on your pens. Okay, so from here, this is where we need to do the folding part. So you need to take this nice and slowly. The crease that we had at the beginning, that was down the middle there, so the crease there gives us a nice guideline. I'm not sure how well you can see that, so if I just roughly just draw it with a pencil, just so you can see it a bit clearer. Oops, might help you to see it. There you go, so you can see I've got my crease line still down the middle. Okay, just so you can see it. When we fold, what we're going to do is we're going to fold a small section from the top, from the big part of the wings over. Okay, and what I'm trying to do to try and keep it fairly straight, because as you fold them they go a bit wonky, is I'm trying to match the crease here in line with the rest of the crease that goes down the part of the centre of the body there. Okay, it will like to go off a little bit wobbly here and there. It doesn't matter too much. It just adds to the character of your butterfly. But try and keep it as central as you can. So once you've folded the top bit, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your piece of paper over, and then you're going to fold it again the same width. So the same width there over the top. Again, following the crease, going all the way down the middle there. That way, and then you turn your piece of paper over and you fold again, and you keep folding, turn it over and you fold, and you'll see that you'll start to get your zigzaggy concertina fan shape. Okay, so if you ever made a little fan, you might have already had this technique, so we start doing that. So you're going to fold it all the way down the rest of the paper. Okay, there's one that I started and finished earlier, so you can see, there we go. I've done these folds quite thin, but you can do them whatever size. Play around with it, try some wide ones, try some thin ones, have a go at different shaped butterflies, okay? But you can see it's been folded all the way from top to bottom. Okay, so what do we need next? We need our little butterfly antenna. So this is where your little scraps of paper come in handy. So I'm just going to take, we'll try a bit from this side. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a thin strip of paper for my antennae. Again, this is just one way of doing it. If you've got some other things around the house, you can use them. Okay, so I've cut a long strip. You'll see it's roughly about the same width there. Oops. As my butterfly body. Okay, and I like to be fairly central, so I'm just going to fold. You see, so I've just folded, I've took my long strip and I've just folded it in half, so I know roughly where the middle is. Now you can have a go at this, but you might need an adult, and I'm just going to use some scissors. You can use a ruler. You just need something that's got a nice straight edge like this, and you're going to trap the piece of paper between the straight edge, and I'm using my thumb, and you're just going to very gently run it along, and can you see that starts to curl the paper? So I just do it a few times just so it gets a nice curl. Okay, I've been practicing, so you just have to be very careful. There we go, you've got your antenna shape a little bit like a love heart. Can you see that? There we go. Now that needs to be stuck I think it's better stuck anyway, onto the top part of your butterfly. Now, if you can't remember which is which, if you just open up your fan a little bit, you can start to see that's my bigger section, that's my smaller section. So that's going to be the top of my butterfly. So with my trusty glue stick, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue in the middle. Again, I know where the middle is because I know where my crease is. And I'm going to match the crease on this piece of paper with the butterfly. There we go. Oop. And you just need to press and hold it just for a second. Paper glue is good, but you just do need to give it a little bit of contact time. There we go. Right, so there we go. You can start to see it's come together. Now we just need to hold this shape together in the middle. Now there's lots of ways that you can do that. You can use pipe cleaners, you can use string. So if I show you on these ones that I've made already. So this one, I still use the paper for the antennae, okay? But this time around the middle, when it was all closed up, I wrapped some wool for its body and tied it, and then I added a little piece of string, look, so my butterfly can hang. So that's one. If you have pipe cleaners, if you're a crafty person, you might have some pipe cleaners lying around. So again, with this one, same thing. I wrapped the pipe cleaner around in the middle of the pipe cleaner, and then I used the two ends that were left, bent them in the shape at the top, and whoops, just at the top of the antennae, from going from the straight bit, I just rolled it in on itself, a bit like if you were trying to get a snail shape. So just rolled up on itself, okay? And that's using a pipe cleaner. But I'm going to show you using a piece of paper, again, from your scraps of paper. So how wide it is up to you. Okay, so I'm going to try at that length. I probably need to cut some off in a moment. So that's going to be my body. And again, we're going to use another little bit of glue. So I'm just going to put... I'll do it on the end of this piece actually. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on the tip of this piece of paper. I'm going to stick that in the middle on top of where the antennae was. There we go. And I'm going to wrap it around until it reaches the top again. Okay, but as you can see, mine is a bit too long. I mean, you can leave it quite long, and then your middle body will just open up a little bit. Oops. So you can leave it wider. But I'm just going to cut a little bit off, because I don't quite want it that wide on mine. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that end of paper. Okay, my helicopter's going overhead. So now this is when you need to open the wings out. I would make sure that your glue is properly dry before you do this, but I'll have a go, but it might just pop open a few times. So first of all, I'm just going to bend my little antennae in a little bit. So they just bend up either side there. Okay, and then what you'll need to do is you'll just need to, so I'll do the top section first, and so I'm just very gently stretching it out so it opens up the wing. Okay, just very gently, and the same with the bottom there. Okay, just very gently stretching it out, and then the other side. Top and bottom. Okay, and you can just keep playing around in that until you're happy with your wings where you want them. There we go, I quite like that. And there you have your finished butterfly. Now, it's up to you what you do with your butterfly. On my first one that I showed you here, my practice one, I've actually stuck a peg onto the back. You see that? There's a peg, just again with the ordinary glue. And this is quite nice because you can peg it onto things. So you can peg it onto things like your curtains, for example. If I show you, I'll just peg it onto my top, look. There you go, look, you can even wear it on your shirts and on your tops. So a peg is a really good way because then you can clip it onto things. And like I've already shown you with this one, which I use string, so again you can hang them. So you might want to hang it in your window alongside your rainbows if you've made one. So you could hang them, or you could make several, and you could make a mobile and hang them up. So that looks quite nice because they look like they're flying then. Or you could just stick them on. If you make small ones, you could stick them onto a card. You could blue tack them to somewhere. Check with your grown-ups first. If you've got magnets, you could put a little magnet on the back, put them on your fridge. Lots of things you can do with them. But have a go, see how you get on, and enjoy making your butterflies. If you do, send us some pictures. I'd love to see what you do with your butterflies and how you make them. And enjoy, and I will see you again soon. Bye.